This is episode number 180 of the Homeowner Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowner Show. We're so glad that you could join us for another episode of the Homeowner Show.
That's right.
Here from the Homeowner Show studios.
This is the one and only Homeowner Show studio.
Oh, it's all echoey in the... Look at that.
What are you doing?
I'm watching the show.
Why?
Leave me alone.
You're watching us on the show as we're, live on Facebook right now.
I'm terribly handsome.
terribly handsome.
That's right.
Oh, what's going on, man?
I can't look away from myself.
Well, I can't.
Look at that.
I'm constantly looking away from you.
How you doing? Good looking.
It's weird right now. I feel it. I hope everybody else isn't hearing the same echo.
There is a weird echo in the studio.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Did it just go away?
No, it's still there. It's definitely still there. But
it's coming through on your computer now.
Yeah, I know. It's echoey because it's coming through on my computer.
That's what it is. Well, I think we had some guests, and I had the mics up on some other people.
Okay.
Maybe that was it.
We'll figure it out.
How about that?
Oh! Whatever you just did, it's gone.
Look at that.
You are something.
A studio genius.
You're something.
Yeah. Look at that.
Man. I sure am glad we started this episode.
Because we were totally prepared. That's right.
Yeah, we have all of the things ready for today's episode.
All right, so real quick.
Okay.
We gotta take a moment.
Yes, we do.
Because something big happened.
Okay. What was it?
In your life.
In my life.
Yeah, what happened? Tell everybody.
Oh, I accepted an offer on my house.
Hey!
And everybody went wild. The crowd went wild.
Kevin sold his house, y'all.
Yeah, so...
He is currently...
homeless.
Yeah, he's unqualified to host the show.
That's actually true. That's funny. That's the funniest thing you've said in a long time, Craig.
Took me 180 episodes.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So, last week's episode, if you remember, I mentioned that we were going to put our house up on the market that week.
Yep.
And it was a little bit crazy this weekend. We put our house up on Thursday, and we had a lot of people coming through our house.
Didn't you say you were like 30 showings or something?
No, I think it was like 20 plus.
20.
In 3 days. Though.
Overselling.
I mean, there's a lot. Overselling, yeah. So it felt like a lot. I was thankful we had shipped our kids off to Grandma's house, and I was really glad that we did that because, I mean, it was like all the time. In fact, it got to the point where my wife was like writing it down on a spreadsheet when we were actually having people at our house because we're like, are we supposed to be here? Are we not supposed to be here? What's going on? So we just left all day. And we literally, from Friday evening until Sunday evening, did not eat at our house. Every single meal we ate out.
That's terrible.
Because I'm not complaining. All I'm saying is that that's not usual for us.
Uh-huh.
And so, anyway, it worked out. We got multiple offers over asking, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited, although we're homeless because so we did accept an offer. Of course, not everything's finalized in any way, shape, or form, but it's been accepted. We're moving through the process, and yeah, now we just need to find where we're going to live from there, permanently at least.
It's exciting, man. Congratulations.
Thanks. Trust me.
No, it's a big. I mean, like not knowing where you're gonna go.
Oh yeah.
Like I know that's a big that's not just for you. Like it's a big step for like your wife.
Yeah. Okay. So let's really put this into perspective because here's the thing. We've been talking about this for over a year about what we were going to do.
Right.
Because we want to buy a property on some land. And even if that means we need to build a barndominium like we discussed last week,
which you're pretty much sold on.
Yep. If we can find land only, which we'll see what we find. But the thing is, we live in such a market right now that in order to make an offer on another property, it doesn't matter what it is, you need to not have a contingency.
Right.
You need to not be under a mortgage. You need to be able to pay for something. And so...
because let's be honest, you missed out on an opportunity because your house wasn't sold.
We did. Yeah. We did. We had a great opportunity. I'm not trying
to rub it in your face or anything like that, but no. That's what happened.
No, we found a great place that we really, really liked. We hadn't sold our house. It wasn't even up on the market yet, and we missed out on it.
Right.
And so this is the crazy thing. Our realtor, Brandy Burke, I'll put a plug out for her. She's been on our show before. She's wonderful. We love her. She does great. And she told us a year ago, she said, guys, I hear what you're asking. You want to buy another property. Let me explain to you that you're not going to be able to do that when you still have a mortgage.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. She said, I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to have to sell your house before you can buy something else.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like, I've always heard that you can, be in process.
You can make some moves. You can finagle.
Right.
You can wheel and deal.
Not
in this market.
Nope. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so, we sold our house. And we don't have another house to move into. Now, we figured out an option. We found a place to move into, to lease for a time.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's a month-to-month, so it's going to work out for us well. We're not going to get into a long-term anything, so that we can be fluid, so that we can buy something if we're ready.
And you guys are in a little bit different situation than most people. I mean, you guys had backup plans for your backup plans.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because we have a camper.
Right.
It's a nice enough camper that we could live in it if we need to.
Yeah.
And honestly, I still expect that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I mean, if we wind up buying a piece of property, I'm moving on it.
Yeah.
Immediately.
With the camper.
Yeah. And I mean, legitimately, what I think is going to happen is we're going to wind up in a camper eventually and buy some sort of metal building, like a storage shed, and it'll be big enough to kind of store all of our stuff, and then also maybe build out like a small bathroom and a little living area so that we have like a little bit more space. But I expect that's probably still going to happen. So we're set up to be able to, like, if worst came to worst, we could live at a KOA if we needed to, right? But
I'm kind of half hoping you guys end up in the SAM so that we can go pig hunting every once in a while.
That would be kind of fun.
That
would be fun. So anyway, it's a weird time, and those of you out there that are looking to buy a house right now, like, it's weird. It's a weird time. I mean, but like I said, we had multiple offers. Most of them were over asking price, and honestly, it's one of those deals where it's like you don't know what's going to happen. Or, I mean, we've had numerous people who were trying to be helpful, who are like, oh, it's a great time to sell your home, but it's a horrible time to buy a home. Was true, but it's like, well, thanks for telling us.
Yeah.
So we're in the process. Thank you for telling us that.
Thanks for that heads up, Magellan.
Yeah, right. But it's like, if you're going to buy high, I mean, if you're going to sell high, you're going to buy high. Right. That's just the way it is. Unless you can get into this weird
vortex
where it's like,
the market. Yeah.
Yes, where you predicted a market and you sell high and then it crashes somehow, that.
Or you got the wherewithal to hang on until it does crash.
Right. Which, I mean, most people just don't have that luxury. I mean,
no.
I mean, the reality of it is we came out really, really well on this home because the market has increased so much that we've made a lot of money on the investment of this home. When you lease a home or you rent an apartment or whatever it is, the money just goes away.
Flushing it down the pooper.
That's right. And I'm not saying that that's not a good option for a lot of people, because depending on the lifestyle that you're trying to live and what you're trying to do with your life, it may be a great option, but you're not investing anything. It's just money that you will never see again, right? And the people that you're paying it to are just getting richer off of it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just the way it goes. So anyway, I don't know. Honestly, I'm in this weird, like, super excited place, and also like, oh my gosh, we got so much to do. We got to move. I hate moving.
Yep.
Oh, it's awful.
Speaking of things to do,
yeah,
you got to pay the bills.
We got to pay the bills.
Pay them bills.
All right. Well, I'll go first. This episode is sponsored by Sustained Growth Solution, your absolute number one best option for small business owners and big business owners, I guess.
Absolutely.
To get good quality, referral quality lead generation. Sustained Growth Solutions can do that for you. A lot of these lead generation places out here, they're just scamming you, to be honest. And Sustained Growth Solutions sends every single lead that they get to one contractor, making exclusive leads, giving you the option to close every single one of them. So if you're looking for referral quality leads, come to your inbox, come to your phone all the time, each and every month. Give them a call, send them an email, info@Sustained Growth Solutions. They are your number one choice for lead generation.
Actual leads, y'all.
That's right.
Yep.
Who else?
This episode is also brought to you by TermaSave. TermaSave is the only residential termite warranty company in the business, which means that they are the only one that can affordably protect your home against termites. So many companies scam you with $1,000 bills to treat termites when you could have simply prevented that cost with a $35 fee.
$35?
$35 a month.
Goodness gracious.
Protect your home with TermaSave for $35 a month. Termites cause over $2 billion of damage in residential construction every year. Protect your home with TermaSave right now with a warranty. Send them a message at info@termasave.com and get your home inspected and protected today. Kev?
Yes.
We did a thing.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Okay, so here, let me set the stage.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Craig, you called me.
Yep.
You're like, hey.
As so many of our adventures begin.
Yes, so pretty much all of them. And you say, hey, what are you doing Thursday? I was like, I don't know. Hopefully nothing. and you're like, well.
Nay, I say.
It's like, no, I probably got something for you. You're like, are you up for an adventure? I'm like, oh, well. Now you piqued my interest.
Uh-huh.
Does it include lunch? That's really the way that went.
Lunch is included.
Okay, I'm in. What do you want me to do? And he's like, well, someone gave me a pool table. I was like, crap. But here's how the rest of that conversation goes.
And heroes before us had failed.
That's true. That's true. Like, legitimate heroes.
Legitimate heroes.
Do we want to call them out? No, we don't want to, right?
Well, not specifically by their department.
Okay. No, but the bottom line is a group of muscular firefighters decided we can't move that thing.
Yeah.
We don't want that because we can't move it. How are we supposed to move that thing? And Craig calls me, obviously. And it's like, Kevin,
being of great stature that you are.
Oh, yeah. My 5'7" physique and a little bit of a belly here was like, surely we can both move this thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And I remember very specifically, I said, Craig, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure in about a month, I'm going to need some help moving stuff.
Turned out less than that.
When and where? I'll move whatever you need me to because I'm going to need the reciprocated help. And so we started off with a good lunch. I'll tell you that.
We did.
Do we want to talk about lunch?
I butter my help.
You do. It was literally. We literally had butter.
Honey butter.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We got a skillet cornbread. Cast iron skillet cornbread.
This is at
I'm pretty sure
Red Brick Tavern
in
downtown Conroe.
Yes, and I think it had a jalapenos in it.
It did, yeah.
And some other.
Well, it wasn't jalapenos. It was hatch chilies.
Oh. and it also had sweetness.
Yes.
I don't know what. Oh my goodness.
There was all kinds of good stuff going on.
I told Craig, I said, I have never had cornbread this good.
Yeah.
And he goes, really? And I go, yeah, really, never.
And you looked at me like cockeyed when I ordered it too.
Oh, I was thinking, I'm fine with an appetizer. Okay. I mean, I like cornbread, but I had no idea what we were getting ourselves into.
Yeah,
I could have eaten like 4 of those.
Yeah.
And that's it. But
Which would have been way cheaper.
it would have been. But we didn't stop there.
No.
Because then we also got a pizza.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to explain the pizza?
Well, so if you guys are from the Conroe area and you haven't been to the Red Brick Tavern, go to the Red Brick Tavern.
Yes.
They have a wood-fired oven pizza oven.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have lots of specialty pizzas, but they have this one in particular. It's a filet mignon gorgonzola pizza.
Oh.
So, but like you really have to like those kinds of things in order to enjoy this pizza.
Yeah, I mean,
Because it's got caramelized onions, it's got gorgonzola
got pesto.
cheese, it's got pesto on it, it's got filet mignon, and so, but like it's a pretty good sized pie.
I mean, we didn't eat all of it.
No.
I mean, we ate all the cornbread.
We ate all the cornbread.
We didn't eat all the pizza, but only one slice. This is a pretty good sized pizza.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the two of us shared it, and then we were plentiful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think we would have been plentiful without the cornbread.
Oh yeah.
So
we definitely, that was really good. But then we go to the place that has the pool table. And you had done some research
a little bit
on this,
Yep.
which is good because
and by a little bit, I'm underselling. Like I'd done a lot of research.
A lot. Because here's the thing. There's pool tables and then there's actual pool tables.
Right.
There is
a significant difference.
There is. So I'll tell you, it's an Olhausen pool table.
Yep.
Which is a name brand. If you don't know, most of you know. It's like buying a Brunswick type of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a name brand. It's a full slate table. It's not a wooden piece of junk.
Nope.
And yeah, in fact, we got there and someone said, "Where's everybody else?"
Yeah.
And it was like, I think my words were, "Look at us." What makes you think that we can't do this?
Well, I think that's a reasonable reaction, right? Because I mean, one, they'd already had 4 guys show up who are pretty big dudes.
Yep.
And this is exactly what was said to me. It's like, look, I just had 4 guys show up, and they were really big dudes, and they're bigger than you. And what makes you think that you can move this?
Well, first of all, don't tell me what I can't do.
Yeah.
That's first of all, right? Don't tell either Craig or me, either one of us, you can't do something because bull crap is probably going to be said back to you.
Right. So, I mean, like, here's the theme for the show.
Okay.
Everything is figure-outable.
Oh, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
And most of the things in life are simply a sum of their parts.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
And so that's really what happened here.
Well,
we subtracted the parts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, so I love pool.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I love playing pool.
I'm probably better than you.
I've always wanted a pool table. Give it time.
Okay.
I've got a table now.
Yeah, you do.
So, you know, I've always wanted, and so, like, it was, so you tell me, like, free pool table. It's a nice pool table.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I think you said it was probably like a $2,000 or $3,000 pool table.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Yes.
So, like, that's money I don't have to spend. So if you tell me, like, look, just figure out how to move it and get it into your house, done.
I'm in.
I'm going to figure it out.
Yep.
So I did my research. You and I just showed up with some simple tools.
Oh, okay. So first of all, by research, you mean YouTube.
Yes.
That's all you need in life. But we showed up with, let's name the tools. Okay, we showed up with a
Ryobi drill,
a regular Ryobi drill, and with a Ryobi impact drill.
Oh.
Okay, and then a pair of pliers.
Yep.
And a flathead screwdriver
and a pocket knife.
And yes,
pocket knife actually came in.
It was one of the most that was one of the most important things we had as a pocket knife.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. The pool table felt is stapled about 4 million times to the actual wood. And honestly, the pliers were having a hard time getting it started.
Yeah.
The flathead was having a hard time getting it started. But the knife
did the job.
Buck knife. It was just a buck knife, right?
That's all it was.
Got it started. I was afraid you were going to break that.
I think I have it right here in my pocket.
Yeah,
I can tell you exactly what kind it is.
I literally thought maybe it's an old timer.
It is.
What is it? It's an old timer.
I can't read the name. My dad gave me this knife though.
Oh, that's sweet.
I can't read. See if you can read it. I can't read the name on the side of the knife.
Yeah,
but it's a.
Oh no, I can't either. It's like a buck knife.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I mean, if you guys can they see that?
Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
Focused properly?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
It's just a.
Well, there it goes.
That broke it.
That broke. Now the knife's done.
I was literally afraid that you were gonna snap off the end of the blade, but you didn't, which is good. But that was it.
That ended up being like one of the most important tools that we had on the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, because
it saved us so much time.
And that was the most time-consuming thing of this entire ordeal was taking all the staples out.
Well, I mean, I think we're kind of putting the cart a little bit before
we
the
are.
horse. But so we moved a pool table.
Yeah. By two people.
It's on the other side of this door, in fact.
Yeah.
And so, like, the problem is when we showed up, she had 4 guys in that house that had said, we can't move this pool table. Yep. And the reason they couldn't move the pool table is because they tried to just pick it up and take it out the door.
Oh, my gosh.
And there were several problems with that whole process, right? One, they hadn't done any thinking about it. 2, they hadn't asked any questions.
Right.
All they heard was free pool table, and they showed up with 4 guys and said, we can do this. Well, like, they were going to have, in order to pick it up and move it out of the room it was in, they were going to have to turn it sideways. Which just wasn't going to happen.
No.
Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but, like, slate is crazy heavy.
Yo, I don't think people fully understand. We'll get to that in a second.
Sure.
But it's super heavy.
But most people don't know that pool tables come apart.
Yes. Yes, they do.
You know, and it doesn't take a whole lot of research. And I'm sorry, like, it took me maybe 30 to 45 minutes.
Sorry, I had a mosquito hawk.
Mosquito hawk, mayfly. That's what they're called.
Mayfly.
People call them mosquito hawks, but they're mayflies.
Okay, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Land on my microphone. Yeah. That jerk. What? Go ahead.
Sorry. Most people just don't understand that pool tables come apart, and they're intended to come apart.
Well, because you can't move them otherwise.
No, you cannot.
And honestly,
you cannot safely move them. Not safely for the people moving them, or safe for the table.
No, because I mean, literally, the only way to pick a table up like this is to reach underneath it and pick it up, just like you would move anything, right?
Yeah.
But it's so heavy. What you're picking up would, if you could, I mean, and we're not. What's her name from Encanto? We're not her.
I don't know her name.
Oh my gosh, you've seen the movie though.
I do know what you're talking about.
Okay, we're not her.
She carries donkeys.
She's pretty hilarious. We're not her, right? But if you did that, it would just break.
Yep.
I mean, because the sheer weight of it is just not going to work.
Yeah.
I mean, the physics of it does not work out.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually the hardware is going to fail. Just is, right? Even if you were strong enough to be able to do it. So.
And like slate, like as heavy as it is, it's very brittle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. It can crumble.
Yeah. Really. It crumbles really easily.
Yeah, it does. Oh, it's heavy.
It's just so heavy.
Yeah. Exactly. So
anyway.
So what do we do?
So really, what we did was we took it apart, and what you have to start with are the bumpers.
Yes.
And you know, you have to take those off, and when you go into a project like this, at least for me, it always goes a lot quicker in my brain than it does in the actual doing of the project.
Every time.
Every time.
Yep.
And so you start taking the bumpers off, and really this is the easiest part of taking the table apart. And at least it was for me. I don't know if that's how you remember it.
Oh, that was easy because there were just basically 2 or 3 bolts on the underside of
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
on each
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bolts total.
Okay, so in between the pockets.
And that's, to be fair, that's just specific to this table.
Sure.
Every table is different. There's different manufacturers, and they do different things different. This table had 12 bolts and holding the bumpers in.
Yeah, and you just, they weren't in, they're not in very far.
No.
Just a simple ratchet,
And this
take
is
those out.
This is where the not the drill, but the
impact wrench.
Impact wrench came in real handy.
It was super easy. We just backed those out, and as soon as you back those out, it's disconnected from the table.
Yeah.
Those bumpers, you just really have to take the bumpers, separate them from the pockets.
What they are is there bolts that actually go through the wood and the wood bottom and the slate top.
Right.
In order to secure the bumpers down.
Yeah.
And I think probably a good tip if you're going to be moving a table on this is, and this is something that we didn't do even though I knew to do it, is to have some baggies prepared in order to hold all your hardware.
Oh yeah, that would have been helpful.
Yeah.
We found some, but we didn't bring them with us.
Yeah, we should have, but we just, and I knew that I needed them. I just, forgot. And thankfully they had some at the house that we could use.
Right.
So anyway, we pulled the hardware out of the bumpers, and then the bumpers themselves, you really want to break those down into
individual pieces.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate pieces.
Yeah.
And so there's some bolts. Typically, usually those bumper, the pockets are actually holding the bumpers together with some iron rods that are screwed in. That once you remove those bumpers, you can actually go up in there and remove those bolts in order to separate the bumpers into smaller pieces.
It really was pretty easy.
Yeah, that part was super easy, but you want to do that in order to make the transport a little bit easier.
Yeah, yeah, and from after that, this was the hardest part.
Well, and this is something that I learned by putting it back together, is you really want to label those.
Oh.
Because those line up with the bolt holes later on.
Okay.
And so if you don't have the right one in the right place, those holes don't line up, so your bolts don't line up, and you kind of have to
So you're telling me that when I took a picture of the slate, probably was smart.
It was smart. We should have just taken many other pictures, or marked. Really,
right.
Really,
it's just like a chalk mark or something.
Something to say like, hey, bottom left, hey, top right. This is where this one goes.
Yeah.
Because they, in theory, should be interchangeable.
You would think, but they're not.
They are, but those bolt holes that we just talked about that you took to secure the bumpers don't line up.
Okay.
If you don't get the right one in the right spot. Depending on the manufacturer.
Sure.
I'm sure there's some manufacturer out there that gets it perfectly right every single time.
Probably not.
This one's not one of them.
Yeah.
I figured it out, but it was an annoying extra step later on.
Yeah. So once we get the bumpers off, then you have to take the felt off.
You got to take the felt off.
Because underneath the felt is the slate.
Yes.
And so you have to take the felt off. Well, it is stapled.
This is by far the step that took the longest. Without
any doubt. I legitimately, Craig, I bet there were 200 staples.
I don't doubt it.
In all there wasn't a space all the way around the entire table there wasn't a staple.
That's actually probably something important to back up and tell people about, is we actually had to remove some staples before we take the bumpers out too.
Yeah.
Because those pockets actually have strips of leather that hold the pockets up against the table.
Yeah, right.
We had to take those staples out too.
And those are actually difficult. Those were probably
more difficult than the rest of it.
Because going through that it was real leather.
Yeah.
And thick leather too.
And so there weren't as many of them, but those staples were harder.
Yeah, they were.
So
we had to take every staple out. We did that with the knife.
Well, we started with a flathead
Yeah.
and a pair of needle nose pliers.
Ugh.
And it
was not working.
We really thought that it was going to go a lot quicker than it did. But flathead screw and like a pretty small flathead screwdriver and a pair of needle nose pliers that convert.
These are weird.
I think
pliers.
I've talked about these pliers before on the show. They're actually my favorite pair of pliers.
They're awesome.
They flip, they invert in between a flathead pair of pliers and a needle nose pair of pliers. So they have a lot of functionality to them.
Yeah.
But we weren't able to get a grip on these staples really well, either with the flathead or the pair of pliers. So we moved over to the pocket knife.
Right.
And really what we were doing is we were just popping them out with the pocket knife and then grabbing them with the pliers.
It was so much easier.
Yeah. And it really helped to have two people.
It did. Yeah, no, it absolutely. And you have to have two people to move this.
You have to have two people to move this
thing. Move this thing. So once we got the felt off, which honestly, that did take a very long time. That process itself was 45 minutes.
I would say at least took 40% of the time.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Taking the table apart.
Absolutely did.
Yeah.
And so then we just roll the felt up, take it out with us. And now we're down to the slate.
Yes.
So at this point, there's just some giant screws, like big, 3-inch screws, and they're nice and thick.
And they're grooved into the slate.
Yeah, and they're kind of even at an angle.
Yes.
And they're very well secured in there. But the impact wrench took them out really, really easily. And
I don't recommend putting them back with the impact.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, because then it could, again, with the brittleness of the slate.
It could crack the slate really easy. Yeah.
So we just removed those. There's 2 on each side of each piece of slate. So there's 3 pieces of slate underneath the pool table. The pool table is made up of 3 pieces.
So it's like 9 screws in total.
Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12.
12?
Yeah, they're 12. And so we took all those out, and from there, it was literally just picking those pieces of slate up and moving them individually. But those things are heavy.
Yeah, even as individual, because the slate gets broken up into 3 pieces.
There are 3 pieces, yeah. But I'm guessing, you tell me what you think. I bet that each of those pieces of slate are 80 to 100 pounds each.
Easy. If not more.
Yeah. I mean, we obviously can move them fairly easily because we're muscular, incredibly.
Oh yeah, look at me.
Type of people.
If you can see my pecs bouncing back and forth right now.
Well, you've got on that puffy jacket. Who's gonna know? Anyway, but really, it was not that big of a deal.
No.
I mean, 3 pieces, 2 people, we were able to pick them up, move them, and then from there, the rest of it was just the base. We moved that in one piece. We could have taken the legs off, but we didn't have to. The bottom piece was half the weight of one piece of slate.
Yeah. And
so that was super easy to move. Put it all on the back of his truck, you've got a quad cab pickup that's got a regular bed on it, which is 5.5 feet. This day.
It's like a 6-foot bed.
Yeah. And you've got a toolbox on it.
Yeah.
So we fit everything back there.
Easy.
No issue. We actually had we should have taken a picture. We had the actual base of the pool table hanging on the outside of the tailgate, but we had it all strapped down. Everything was good.
Well, and the way I watched a professional pool moving company, and I watched how they strapped it and moved it, and I was like, man, this is exactly like how these guys did it.
Yeah.
Easy. And so when we put the slate in the bed, we actually stacked it on top of one of, and they said part of the reason you do that is the weight of it actually helps stabilize it so that it doesn't crack and get damaged in transport.
Yeah.
They said obviously don't go over major potholes or anything like that.
Although there's a major pothole on the way to your house right now.
Yeah, there's a huge pothole which we had to duck away from.
Yeah.
But other than that, they said the weight of it should help stabilize it.
Sure.
And prevent any damage from happening. So we didn't really have to put any blankets down.
No. We didn't do any of that.
Anything in between the pieces of slate? Because a lot of people don't know that there's huge chunks of wood underneath a slate. Mm-hmm. And so what you're doing is you're putting wood on the bottom with slate on the top, and then you're coming back through and you're putting wood on top of that slate with another piece of slate, and then wood on top of that slate. And so the slate never actually touches anything other than the wood that it's been designed to sit up against.
Right.
Which wood has a lot more give to it than that slate does.
Yeah, it does.
So it provides an extra layer of cushion for that really expensive piece of rock.
Yeah. Yeah. And it really was, honestly, I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Uh-huh. Well, neither one of us did.
No, we didn't. And the thing
That's why I said, are you ready for an adventure?
And I didn't know. I knew it involved pizza, and I was in. But I honestly, guys, I will tell you this right now. I would, if someone asked me to move a pool table, I would go, sure.
Let's do this.
I would rather move a pool table than a piano any day.
Any day. I've moved a piano. I don't want to do that again.
I've got a piano, Craig. Sorry, I've got a piano. But yeah, it was no big deal.
Yeah. Well, and like with pianos, I mean, like just in furniture dollies.
Oh yeah, one furniture dolly,
and you can move a piano.
You can move a piano.
Well, and yours is an upright, right?
Mine's an upright.
Yeah, I mean, like those, they're not terribly hard to move. You just need a couple of guys in a furniture dolly.
They're heavy. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really it.
Yeah.
So, and like, I've shot a few hands on the pool table in the shop now.
Yeah.
It was way easier to put together than it was to take apart.
I believe that.
I mean, but it only took us like 2.5 hours.
Did it take that long? I'm guessing it probably did. But again, over at least an hour of that was taking out staples. But we didn't. If we would have started with that knife rather than starting the way we did, it would have taken less time.
I think you're probably right. Live and learn. Yeah. So, and like, I had a pneumatic powered staple gun in order to put it back together.
Yeah. But it was easy.
It took hardly any time at all.
Yeah.
So now I will say this, you can only restretch felt so many times.
Right.
I get the sense this was the first time this felt was moved.
Okay.
So I think I lucked out on that one because otherwise I think I might have had to replace the felt.
Yeah.
And that might not be super cheap. That being
honestly, I've replaced felt on a pool table. It was about $400. That was including labor.
That's not
so
terrible.
Honestly, now that we know how to take apart the bumpers and everything,
I need to watch some videos on how to replace the felt on the bumpers.
It would. I
can't imagine it's terribly difficult.
It's
but
just, no, it's not that big of a deal.
I just want to look into it because I don't know how time consuming it is.
Yeah.
But I think it would be super cool if we could get a pool table that had the homeowner show logo in the middle.
That and the light above.
The light above.
You know, the big bar light, right?
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Hey, if you know someone who can make that kind of thing, let us know.
Yeah, we would love to promote the ever living hell out of your business.
That's right. Don't think we wouldn't.
We will.
We will.
So.
Yep.
Anyway, we moved to the pool table.
We did a thing. It was weird, but it was easier than we thought it would be.
Yeah.
And again, now that we know how to do it, it would be so much easier to do it a second time.
But don't call me to move your pool table.
No, not unless there's pizza involved.
Even then.
It's got to be
pretty good pizza.
Good pizza. That was good pizza.
I'm cool with learning something, but now I know something.
Yeah.
So it's got to be pretty good pizza.
Yeah, because now it's like an expertise thing, right? Right? Like you're not just paying for my muscles. Now you're paying for my brains.
Oh yeah.
That's worth more.
Yeah.
It just is. I'm sorry. It just is. So.
Maybe not your brain.
It depends on whose brain. Yeah. Brainless. But yeah. What else, man? Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, man. Thank you for downloading today's episode of the Homeowner Show. If you have not already, go click the like button. Subscribe to our channel. Leave us a 5-star rating review on Apple, Apple, iTunes. We would love that. And yeah, find us on YouTube. Find us on Facebook. Share us with your friends. Thanks for being here. Until next time, we'll see you later.
See ya.